All right, let's do this. Hello everyone, I'm Lydia or Miss Han. Welcome. In this video, I'm excited to share my approach to teaching the early republic to 11th graders using an engaging activity called the Power Wheel. Here is a complete example of a Power Wheel from one of my classes. I will show you how this activity works in this video, but first, let's briefly discuss the lesson's context. First of all, the early republic is a topic we introduced early in the 11th grade curriculum. California core standards require students to study American history throughout their junior year. The early republic is a crucial part of the first learning segment. While teachers typically spend 3 to 4 weeks teaching this entire segment, and this can vary by school and district, I dedicate about a week specifically to the early republic. We delve into the formation of the government and key precedents, exploring topics like the Constitution, Federalists versus Democratic Republicans, key early presidencies, and of course, landmark Supreme Court cases. This lesson builds on students' knowledge of the nation's founding and explains how the three branches of government were established. Students explore the challenges faced in establishing the system of checks and balances through pivotal events in early American society. Beyond this primary learning objective, this lesson also fosters an understanding of civic participation in a democratic society, which is a recurring theme in public education that extends beyond K-12 and into young adulthood. So here's what we will be covering today. We've already touched on the general expectations for this course. Next, I will walk you through the lesson sequence or the flow of the lesson for a typical 15 minutes class. And finally, we'll discuss how this lesson can be modified for a one-on-one learning modality. I usually start each lesson with a warm-up to activate students' background knowledge, engage their interest level. This anticipatory set takes about 4 to 6 minutes. I might ask some broad questions like, what tactic do you know about resolving a conflict? Or can you think of any examples of negotiation resolution tactic? And these questions help me build a relationship with my students and gain insights into how I can support them in connecting what they already know with the lesson's learning objectives. The next 15 to 20 minutes typically involve direct instruction, where students might take notes, analyze provided materials, or watch videos showcasing the tension between different parties and government entities. I often incorporate assistive tech like projectors, whiteboards, and PowerPoint presentations. However, I will skip this portion in this video to focus on the Power Wheel activity, which I believe it offers more creative outlet for learning. To achieve the primary objective of understanding the three branches of government, students analyze 3 landmark Supreme Court cases using the handouts I provide. They interpret how these cases resolve conflicts and shape the system of checks and balances. After analyzing the handouts, they transition to the Power Wheel activity. I explained that this is a dynamic project designed to capture and quantify their research data. While I've used this as a group activity, it can easily be modified and adapted for individual learning. So to begin, each student receives an individual Power Wheel focusing on a specific landmark case. On the smallest wheel at the top, we have the case of Marbury versus Madison in 1803. The median wheel in the middle is about McCulloch versus Maryland, 1819. And the largest wheel in the back is the case of Gibbon versus Ogden in 1824. As you can see, all these wheels share the same trifold format that acts like a graphic organizer. Each section represents a government branch, like the judicial, executive, and the legislative. Students fill in these sections with information from their research, explaining how each branch exercised the power during or as a result of the landmark case. In this example of the complete will, students collected data in a bullet point format that explains how each branch resolved the conflict using its power. For instance, in the Marbury and Madison case, the president representing the executive branch refused to deliver Marbury's commission. At the same time, the judiciary asserted its power to interpret the Constitution and declare laws invalid, establishing its role as a co-equal branch. And the legislative branch had passed the Judiciary Act of 1798, which was later deemed unconstitutional. Once individual wills are complete, we assemble them into a larger display. Each will has double-sided tape on the back, which can be mounted onto the whiteboard or the wall. Then I invite students to do a gallery walk. This brings us to the end of the class, where students analyze the information on each power will, validating and summarizing the data. My goal is to assess their ability to describe how governmental power has evolved and how different cases influence the balance of power among the branches, possibly through various negotiation tactics. As an extension to this project, advanced students can digitize the data using an online program I created, allowing them to share their work online and potentially earn college credit aligned with civic participation initiatives. My experience with the Power Wheel activity has been very successful. Not only does it help students learn about landmark Supreme Court cases and their impact on the balance of power within the United States government, but the process is also very engaging and hands-on. In my class, students find it enjoyable and are motivated to learn and collaborate. This concludes my demonstration. The materials and resources I use in class will be provided for you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a nice day.